Hello and welcome back to the Wizards Arena. My name is Draymore, my fellow Planeswalkers, and I am going to be finally doing the Commander review for Zendikar Rising. We're starting with white. My skill is 1 to 10. I don't bother with half numbers or any of that silliness. 1 is you should just set it on fire. Don't bother using it ever. And 10 is like revolutionary, game breaking, and fives are really solid. Certain fits, it's going to be an amazing card in like an 8 or a 9, but in other situations it's just not going to be relevant. Our first card is Angel of Destiny. 3 and 2 white, flying double strike, 2/6. Whenever a creature you control deals combat damage to a player, and that player will gain that much life. So wait a minute. I hit them for 2, and then for 2 again, and then they gain 2 life and 2 life. So that's a wash. But then you gain that much life also. So I'm gaining 4 life. Okay. So she kind of sort of has lifelink. So what else is going on here? Beginning of your end step, if you have at least 15 more life than your starting total, which would be 55, each player, Angel of Destiny, attack this turn, loses the game. This is going to get a much higher mark than it did in Standard, because since we have an Eternal format here, we're able to boot her up, we're able to give her Lightning Greaves, sneak attack her out, give her haste with a bunch of different ways. And if you're playing her in Boris, you have a bunch of different things you can do to get extra combat steps. So you make 1, 2, or 3 players lose the game. I always assess Commander based around a 4-person pod. So you have 3 opponents. So, you could theoretically with her do enough combat tricks so you just win on one turn with like sneak attack and stuff. She's going to get a 5. She's pretty good, but only in certain decks with a very tight build around her. She's not legendary. She's solid. I like her. Neat idea, but if people have Mortify or anything Hero's Downfall to hit her, then before you can boot it, she's dead. Our next card is the Archon of Emery. When you first quickly look at it, it looks like a griffin, but it's not. It's 2 and a white for a 2/3 flying body with Rule of Law stapled on it. Each player can't cast more than 1 spell each turn. And non-basic lands your opponents control enter the battlefield tapped. So if you're playing this in like a Grand Arbiter deck or something like that, where the commander is trying to lock your opponents out of doing stuff, and you have enough counter spells to counter whatever your opponents are casting that turn, it's going to be really good for you. It's going to get a 4. It's only really good, I feel, in those deck builds. A really tiny body. Maybe if you put protection on it, or something like that, it's really good. But it's not going to be slapped into every white deck. It's okay. Our next card is going to be the Archpriest of Vinona. 1 white for a party member, and it's probably going to be like a 2/2 usually. Just isn't that good using Commander and Commander. You want to have 3 or 4 drops. 1 drops and 2 drops are usually mana dorks. I just don't think it's going to get played that much. It's okay. It's not terrible. It's not the worst thing I've seen. It's just really weak. If you're going to make a really small weenie swarm party deck around Tasaba, then I guess so, but I don't like it. Our next card is Emery's Call. So they've taken Hero's Downfall, Mortify, spells like that, and made a spell and then stapled it onto a land. This is genius. I really like this idea. I like having a spell that does more than one thing, and instead of being always a spell, it's a land. So if we draw this on like turn 2, and we have like almost no lands left, or you know, we need a land to play a mana rock next turn, we got one. Here it is. Here's your mana. And if we draw it late game, you know, we get to cast a spell. The couple things about the spell that kind of hurt its grade will be triple white. You know, I know there's mana fixing, but, you know, triple white's kind of tough. Not impossible, though. And it creates 2 white angel tokens. And also gives you non-angels indestructible until your next turn. That's pretty cool. I feel like it's good in certain commander decks, but not just 1 or 2 commander decks. It's good in a little handful of them. So like Trostani, maybe Gave, stuff like that, where you're making tokens anyhow, and you can cast this, make a couple more tokens. You got Nordic Procession or Parallel Lives, you double it, and then you give your whole board indestructible until your next turn, not till end of turn. So that's really good. And then you have a land. Like, this is amazing. You don't even pay a 13 of your life to have it untapped, and you might not even need it untapped. So this card, the only reason it's getting marked down a little bit is because it's triple white here. So it's going to be clocking in here at a 7. But I can't overstate how good this feels to me. Like, I hope we get more stuff like this, but I think they're going to reserve ideas like this for Zendikar only. But, yeah, it's a really cool idea. I applaud them. You know, it's a great new idea, and unlike Companion, it's not broken as hell. This is just, you know, usage of a card slot, so we can start getting less mana flooded, which nobody likes getting mana flooded. So that's why I think this card is so good. Our next card is Feldar Retreat. 3 and a white landfall enchantment. Whenever you play a land, make a 2/2 white cat beast, or put a +1/+1 counter on each creature you control. Those creatures all gain vigilance until end of turn. This is better on all fronts than the white enchantment with landfall from the last set at Zendikar. That set we got 1/1s. I don't even remember what the other half was. It just doesn't matter. This is infinitely better. I don't feel a 6 is justified here. And I don't think like a 6.5. I really feel like with all the versatility here, it gets 7. 6.5 might be better. Because it's really good in token decks, but then in like mass attack decks and stuff like that, just playing a land and making your whole team indestructible, I mean, having vigilance until end of turn and putting counters on all of them is good too. So in the white counter theme deck, I can see it being good. It can also be good in the tracks because then you can proliferate. Like, this is just good in a lot of decks. I like it. I'm really, really impressed with this card. It's helping white out quite a bit. Our next card is Legion Angel. 2 white for a 4/3 flyer that you get to go find another copy for outside this game and put into your hand. Well, guys, here it is. This card's junking Commander. I can't run more copies. I only have this one copy. You won't ever play this thing. If you're playing Commander and you pack this card, you are angry. There's so many better angels. They always have an angel in a set, so we're at, like, I think they said officially this is the 85th set of Magic the Gathering, so probably 60 different angels exist. She doesn't get played. There's no reason to do this poor deck. Moving on. Ugh. Yeah. Luminaric Aspirant is a white and a colorless for 1/1 human cleric that puts a +1/+1 counter on target creature you control. I personally feel that it's okay. It's better in decks where you have multiple combat steps, or maybe like a Traxa, if you're just trying to dump lots of counters everywhere with hardened scales. I feel like I'd rather pay a little more mana for a creature that does it more. Like Corpse Jack Menace, and you just double the number of counters going onto a thing. So it's going to get a 3. It tried. It's not terrible, but I feel like if I'm going to get an effect like this, I'd rather pay more to do more, if you get what I mean. It's okay. Like, at least it's doing better than the last angel we just saw, but it's just alright. It's like, eh. Our next card, the Maul of the Sky Cleavers. 2 white, auto-equipping, +2/+2, flying, and first striking. 2 and 2 white to re-equip it. Well, this seems pretty good. I mean, you know, with decks where you can just drop it in on things and equip it, like with my Narset equipment deck. Oh, I played this spell for free, slap it onto Narset. Well, now she's a flying, hexproof first striker with 4 free flips. Like, it's gonna be good in any equipment Voltron deck, because you get a +2/+2 flying and first strike for no equip cost. And if you already have like hexproof on the creature or something like that, it's gonna really mess them up. I love it. If this is gonna be the new idea going forward, except with like the 3 swords we haven't gotten yet in the cycle from Mirrodin, I like it, like it, like it. This is going to be a 6. I like it. Neat ideas coming. The equip cost is the only thing keeping this down a little bit. If they had like a equip of 3 or 2, you would really be up there in the scaling. But we're staying at 6 here. Our next card is Inversion. 6 and 2 white, destroy all non-land permanents. That's kind of expensive. Oh wait, it's on a land. Whoa, gee, this just got infinitely better. So you're telling me we're having a board wipe that hits everything. So if a Wrath is 4, and something along this line is normally like 6, we're adding 2 mana to have access to a land. So if we draw a land and we get this early, we have a land. In late game, we got a Wrath. I think this is the best white card in the set, hands down, for Commander. Like, it's an 8. If you need to, you can hold back a land maybe, Wrath the board. If you need the mana, you got it. It's just so flexible. Blows up, if you get really behind, it blows up all the mana rocks enchantments, walkers. Like, it's just not... If it was just creatures, it wouldn't be that good. But it's everything. I like it a lot. This is going to be, I feel like, if you're playing white in any monocolored, 2-color, and maybe 3-color decks, it's going to be in your deck. You know, it's not triple white. It's not like 4 and 3 white or 5 and 3 white. So you're going to play it in every deck, I feel. And that's why it gets an 8. It's just simply game changing. There's little ways it could have been slightly better, but I'm definitely going to put it in my 2 mono white decks, my Rune the Hidden Realms deck, my Orlo deck. I'm probably not going to put in my Mistalker deck because he's just trying to crush people as fast as he can. But it is the bomb. I just love it so much. Our next card is a Sky Clave apparition, a white and a colorless for 2/2. That when it comes into play, it exiles a thing of 4 or less. And when it leaves play, they get an illusion token with CMC equal to the thing I got rid of. Now, I was really high on this in Standard, because it's really good there. It's like Baffling End. But in Commander, something 4 or less, there's not going to be a ton of that running around. Like, you might want to slot in your Spirit deck Tribal. It might be good there. But like I had said at the beginning of the video, if a thing is like very specific and like decks it goes in, stuff like that, I mark those low. I'm going to give this a 3. I'm not going to give it a 2 or 1. Because Spirits is a reasonable deck to be playing. So, there could be several targets to hit. And with 3 opponents, you might find something that you want to hit, like a Bloom Tenderer, a Soul Ring, something like that. So it's not ultra terrible. I just don't see it being played outside of Spirits. Our next card is the Squad Commander. Okay, I like this guy. He's pretty cool. If you have one other party member, you get to make 2/1/1 warrior tokens to go with it. And with the party commander being all 5 colors, you can play like Dublin Season to double the number of tokens you get, Anointed Procession, and you can just do a lot of things to double the number of guys you're getting. I feel this is the best of the party stuff we've seen so far, and one of the better ones overall in the set. I just don't think Party's ready yet for Commander debut. But if you're going to do Commander Party, you're going to use the Commander. That's a lot of words of Commander. Commander. Okay, so with that said, I feel like that this guy gets a slightly higher mark because he's not as limited as the other guy. So she gets a 4. Because the other one in Spirits is like, because it's got a very limited target. With this guy, if you have 2 party members out already, you get 3 dudes, and there's Anointed Procession and Dublin Season. So potentially you could make 6 dudes or 12 dudes with all the triggers. So it's pretty cool. But it all hinges on what's your board state when you cast it and stuff. So that's what's holding it down. Our next card is Taziar, the Beacon of Unity. 4 and a white. 1 less for each party member. Spend blue, black, red, green, or colorless. And those. Look at the top 6. Reveal 2 of the party members or an ally. And put them into your hand. And the rest of them bottom of random order. It's a 4/6. If I feel like this is your commander. It's not part of the 99. If you're going to try to do party, I got a feeling people will. They'll play him, her. Slap a bunch of party people in there. Party's probably going to be better than it was in standard because you got a lot more eternal options. Because there's a bunch of warriors, there's a bunch of, different things that are available. There's tons of wizards, so when we were going all crazy in Onslaught with wizards. So, I feel like there could be a deck there. I'm not interested in making a deck based around the party. Doesn't mean the party's bad. Pretty solid ability. I'm going to give it a 5. It's just middle of the road. Because when it comes out, it doesn't impact the board state hugely. Your opponents will be like, okay, you cast it, you got a 4/6. Unless you got a bunch of mana, you got to wait for your next turn to play the ability. So, it's we got there. My name's been Draymore with the Wizards Arena. This has been our review of the white cards for EDH. Please like, share, subscribe, comment below, and let me know what you think. You can follow us on the Facebook, and I'll be back with Blue. I'll see you guys all in that video, and have a great day.